Good evening with the Digital 4G Sports Roundup. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Sadrico UWI have done it again. After crushing the Barbados Defence Force by 9 wickets at Paragon today, the team celebrated their unofficial claim to the Lime BCA Elite title for the 5th year in a row. The champs entered the final day of the season, needing 7 wickets to bowl out their opponents at Paragon. Kareem Currency put in a sterling effort to steady the ship for the BDF side. This is one of his 4 fours. With a knock of 31, Currency was making it a not so easy task for the UWA team to claim victory. On the other end, teammate Ronaldo Brathwaite also made his presence felt. Starting the day on 16, he added 16 more to that total before he was bowled at the hands of Kevin Hodge for 32. BDF now 116 for 4. 8 balls later, wicket number 5 will be that of Marlon Welcome Goodman, caught by Anthony Allen. Hodge the bowler again. He was back to the pavilion with a duck. That brought in Akeem Klinkett. He wasted no time in getting some boundaries of his own, driving toward the barracks. But with Sir Hillary keeping a watchful eye, UWI will strike again. This time, Currency goes. Caught by Akeem Dewar off the bowling of Ryan Austin, his 31 had 2 fours and 1 6. Carlos Brathwaite proved expensive at times. Klinkett sending it down the leg side to the ropes. Klinkett was really letting them have it. Austin, this time the bowler, punished with this boundary. Remember, I spoke of Brathwaite being expensive? Well, this over produced 16 runs, inclusive of 2 sixes by Ravindra Prasad, that being the first. This being the second, right back over Brathwaite's head. But UWA met business, and Austin would strike again. This time, Kevin Hodge holds on to it. Klinkett goes for 35. BDF 195 for 7. Not a single run was added before wicket number 8 was claimed. Prasad caught by Brathwaite. Akeem Dewar with the bowling duties. Actually, the score would stay at 195 as on the brink of tea, Ronaldo Griffith was caught by Marquez Clark for a duck. Austin with another wicket. BDF went to tea 195 for 9. On resumption, Rashid O'Neill looked promising, driving this one to the boundary. But his stay will be short-lived as Ryan Austin wrapped up things for UWI. O'Neill with the bails flying, bowled for just 5. BDF all out for 202. UWI needed just 40 runs for the victory. And UWI then raced to 44-1 for the 9th wicket win. At the College A ground, Guardian General Barbados Youth hammered Lime by an innings and 122 runs, scored the Youth 368, Lime 102 and 144. At Queen's Park, CGI Maple made 198 and 94 for 6, Super Centre Spartan 182 and 95. And at Bayfield, Republic Bank St. Catherine, they made 324 for 8 and 67 for 5. SA Field Pickwick 284. Meanwhile, Counterpoint Wanderers have won the Division 1 title and have earned a promotion to the Elite Division. After the win, the unofficial champ said that even though their win was precious, unity was the #1 objective this season.
You've got a diverse group of young men from different Caribbean nationalities, different backgrounds, and you've always got to knit things in your body. You've got to be able to give a little bit of freedom to some guys, and then you have all the egos. So what it is really trying to build that cohesion, build that unity, and we worked very hard from the beginning of the season. I think we were successful.
Barbadian Daniel Treasure missed out on claiming the top prize as Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada took the top spots in both the sprint and Olympic distance events at the Powerade Barbados National Triathlon Championships earlier today. Marsha Boyce was at Spring Garden this morning.
Let's jump right into it. 3 races going simultaneously: the sprint triathlon, the Olympic distance triathlon, and the relay. After a 750-meter swim, Christian Gillette of Trinidad and Tobago had taken control of the sprint race. He had a comfortable lead on the field, and after the 20-kilometer bike ride, wasted no time in the transition zone for the 5K run. His fellow Trinidadian Jason Goodin was also in the running, along with Barbados's Derek Wilson. He's the father of top local triathlete Jason Wilson. But the 16-year-old Gillette continued to hold on to his lead. The teenager went on to win in 1 hour 8 minutes 21 seconds. His fellow Trinidadian Gooden came through to take the second spot, while Wilson, the first Barbadian home, was fourth. TNT swept the sprint titles as Christiane Farah won the women's race in 1 hour 16 minutes 35 seconds. Marissa Bradshaw was the first Barbadian woman securing a podium spot, finishing second ahead of another Barbadian, Denise Krebin. While those races were in progress, the athletes for the longer Olympic distance were heading out as well. That's Inga Kazarek of Grenada, the first woman to make the transition from the 1.5-kilometer swim to the bike. Exiting the water, Barbadians Gregory Austin and Darren Treasure were among the top 5 in the men's Olympic race, while Shanda Gooden was the first Barbadian female to hit the bike for the Olympic distance. Treasure and Austin used the 40-kilometer bike ride to move up the order. In fact, Austin actually went into the lead, but unfortunately he did an extra lap and found himself behind the top 3 heading into the 10K run. Treasure would be the one to make the transition first, followed by the man who had held the early lead, Chris Regis of Grenada. South African Adam Cripwell, who has just relocated to Barbados, was third at this stage. Treasure looked as if he was well on his way to wrapping up the national title, but it wasn't going to be, as with less than half of that final 10K to go, he found himself in serious trouble, succumbing to the heat. With Treasure out of the race and on his way to seek medical attention, a steady Regis would move into the lead. He held on to that top spot right until the very end, winning in 2 hours 21 minutes 28 seconds.
Everything went out very well and the runner's pretty good too. I'm not a pretty strong runner, but I fight it and I realized I'm for first, so I had to keep it up. I had a stamina, so I had to perform very well for my country and I go there and do that.
Cripwell was second in 2:22.27, while Austin, the first Barbadian home over the distance, was third.
Very long, very hot, especially the run. And the swim wasn't too bad, and the bike ride was, I'm strong at the bike, so the bike was okay, but I have a little difficulty with the run, and the time of the day and the heat made it even more difficult.
Kazarek ensured Grenada took home both top prizes, winning the women's race in 2 hours 35 minutes 48 seconds.
It was tough. It was a tough race, especially the run. It was real hot out there, So it was a bit of a struggle, but otherwise it was a nice race.
Gooden finished second to be crowned national champion in 2 hours 44 minutes 58 seconds.
It was tough. The run was tough. I felt good, but it's hot. It's definitely very hot, and the heat is what breaks you down.
Marsha Boyce, CBC Sports.
And the 3-man team of swimmer Akeem Nurse, cyclist Russell Elcott and runner Pierre Stanford won the relay event in 1 hour 4 minutes 52 seconds. And that has been